All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Jurassic World Evolution. I am Captain Beefy with ADHD Entertainment, and we are on, I believe it's our fifth episode today. We've unlocked island number 3, Isla Taqueño. Taqueño. I don't know, I'm not Mexicano, but I do speak with a good accent, huh? Anyway, it's the third island, and
we can always use a few more resources. Here's our chance to earn some.
You could always use another interruption, too. Okay, so this island opened up. You're kind of taking over for the last guy who probably got fired because the island was a mess. It had all kinds of stuff that wasn't necessary. It was deep in the red. I think it was like 900K in the red. But anyway, he had to sell off a lot of stuff and release some low-level crappy dinosaurs just to start getting the people in. The way it was set up, it had part of a monorail going this way that followed this road a little bit. It had one power plant down here. Had the big, the big center there? Here, I'll tell you what it is in a second. Maybe. Still haven't figured out where all these things are. Yeah, this thing. The big innovation center was right here. It had the viewing gallery and the Hammond Creation Lab, with just tiny little pieces of fence, but no complete fence. And then all of these shops, and it had a shelter here. So I sold this off, sold off the monorail piecemeal, sold that off, destroyed some extraneous roads. There were some roads that ran down here a little bit, but there's nothing down there yet. There was some extra power lines, I believe, maybe an extra substation, I don't remember. And it was kind of a struggle, but I released some couple little Mimas in here and a couple Dracorex. I think there's 2 Mimas and 3 Dracorex. Everybody's quite happy and peaceful and doing well. It's not the most exciting Jurassic World to go to, but hey, you can bring your kids here and not worry about them getting eaten by a T-Rex, Raptors, or, anything of that nature. I kind of made this area the working area, and I'm not sure if I'm happy with it. I kind of like having the power there. Not so much the Ranger Station, the ACU. The Expedition Center is cool, and the Research Center is cool. But the rest of it, I'm kind of thinking I would have rather had the Ranger Station here as well as the ACU. A little bit closer to where the actual dinos are. But hey, it is what it is. It's down here now. I can always add another one later or move it or whatever. It's cool. So, tips and tricks. Now, I kind of been playing around a little bit off camera. And one thing I noticed was this cool little management view thing. And it gives you a way to look at some different stuff at a glance. The power one's nice, as it shows you your power grid, what's covered and what isn't. The storm protection one. This island, I have not seen a storm yet. I haven't been here too long, but I've been here long enough to know that there's no horrible storms. Shelter, okay, where they need protection. This one I like, though, where this one, the attraction finances. So this gives you an opportunity to look at a glance and see what's making money, how much, and what's not. So as we can see, the restaurant's not making money, the clothes shop and the toy shop are. And it looks like we're not getting any guests in there. So the trick, I guess, is to kind of tweak what you're selling and the prices and get things moving a little bit. I don't know. We're going to lower prices on a couple of these things. And now the way these work, and I'll give you an overview. I've done a little looking into them. Here's the way they look. It shows you here the status. All right, there's all the basics. No, it doesn't have storm protection. It does have a path. It's not damaged. It requires 3 power to run, and it is powered. Over here you have, and it looks like all of them so far have 3 choices of things to sell. The Snackosaurus, Jurassic Nom, and a Giganosteak, each with a base cost per product. Okay, so $4, $10, $20 would it cost you, and then you can sell it for. You set your sale price. So if I have something that costs $10 and I sell it at $15, I'm making $5 per. But obviously, no one's buying that at this time. So I've got several choices. I can change what I'm selling and hope that maybe a cheaper product is what the people are looking for. I haven't seen a way to tell what the people think. I know in other games that I've played like this, like the old Roller Coaster Tycoon, you can see like thought bubbles for the guests. Well, that's too expensive. I'm not eating there, or this or that. They'll give you some, that roller coaster's too scary for me. So that's one thing that's really missing from here. It would be nice to have a general feedback from the public so you can kind of manage your products and your stores and your staff accordingly. So then you have managed staff down here. I wasn't sure what that meant at first, but it's not even open. Yeah, it's open. Okay. Why is it not costing me anything? Anyway, so managing staff, I wasn't sure what that meant at first. It looks like if you hit the button, you can add more and more staff, right? Well, then I looked at the bottom as I adjusted the slider, and you can see or at the bottom of this little box here, you can see guests, income, running cost, and whatever. So the base of this is $320. So I guess having one staff member, they can handle 320 guests. And I spent a lot of years working in the restaurant business. I was lucky to find a staff member that could handle 2 guests, let alone 320. So if you can find me this guy, tell me about it. I'm going back in business. But in any case, as you up your staff, they can handle more and more guests. Okay? So looking at, let's find one that's operational and running or making money, like the fast food place. So we're handling 91 out of 240 guests right now. Great. $37.51 income, $14.09 running costs, so we're making $23.42 per minute. That's some money. Now, oh my God, we're selling a Dino Feast. It costs us $14 from $41. No wonder we're making a fortune. We're ripping these people off. And that's fast food. All right, so we don't need to manage staff there because we're doing fine. I don't know what this management view does. Let's see. I don't know if that impacts anything. Oh. Oh, okay, I see. So it kind of does this thing, but when you're inside of there, let's go back in. All right. So that's how you can do that when you're in. Okay. So as you can see, I've got 2 units that are actually profiting decent. Those are the ones in blue. I got 3 that are in, and I got 3 that are absolutely making no money. So, in a nutshell, that's it. So, I guess we could shut them down. Maybe when we get more people, these might take off more. I don't know. These all existed when I took over this park, and I kind of like the layout. I like that. It reminds me of like going into a Universal Studios or whatever. And you got Margaritaville over here, and you got Starbucks over there, and Bubba Good Shrimp Company over there. You get all these brand names and all that you know of, and this clothing shop and that. And so it's kind of cool to have that little entryway set up like that already. So even though they're losing money or not making money, I'm going to keep them right now because we're doing okay. We're bringing in $75K per minute, which that was a struggle to get to, let me tell you. So anytime you get a new park, and we're going to zip down here, and you set up a new expedition center and new research center, you get new things that you can research. For instance, like here we have 1 new building, 5 new building upgrades, 3 new medical treatments, and 10 new genetic researches. So these things can be kind of pricey to do, especially when you're struggling. Like, yeah, bowling alley, pretty cool. I'd like one. I don't need it here, so, and that's a lot of money to spend when I'm only, I've struggled to get to $1 million. Power upgrades. Wow, I'd love my reduced upkeep and outage protection up, but 600. Woo, that's a lot. 600. So if I did that, that one research and the 750 for Research Team Charlie, ouch. Well, that's kind of cool though. Expedition Center, Dig Team Charlie. So these are cool things to have, but look how expensive they are. That'll take up most of my money. And also, with the Expedition Center, anytime you open up a new Expedition Center, you get new areas to dig, and you get new creatures that you can start researching or start digging for and finding fossils for, like Parasaurolophus. Okay, the Gallimimus, Centausaurus. Very Asian. Over here in the U.S., got a couple. Oh, the T-Rex, the Torosaurus, Maiasaura. So as you can see, we've got quite a few new, dinos.
A contract just landed on my desk. You need to take a look.
Anyway, I can do that now. All right, so anyway, these expeditions and these research projects can be quite expensive. And I'd rather be spending that money building up a new enclosure. I can build a Hammond Center for $400K, and that's a third of what I have right now, and then spend the rest on setting up the viewing centers and all that. It's like $150, I think, for one of them. So that's $550 right there. And the fencing, depending on what it is, I might have to run power to it. Yada, yada, yada. It'd be quite expensive to open a new attraction. I want to open a new attraction. So instead of doing it on the island that you're struggling with, this is kind of a cool thing I discovered, and I just kind of was farting around, going back and forth. And I think this is a great tip. Instead of continuing to struggle on your new island and, trying to decide, should I go do another dig for some more T-Rex genome, or, should I research that second dig team? Forget all that, man. Go back to your main island that's doing well. And I rebooted my first island. I kind of restarted it because it's what I do with a game like this. It's kind of fun to go back and redo and learn from your mistakes a little bit. As you can see, I've set things up a little differently. 3 pens, or we're kind of trying to steer the people around this way. And we're going to kind of do that motion park in a large circular fashion, and then we'll be able to insert a monorail and maybe put a couple stops here and there. But that's another story and another video. So let's go to I'm still going to where they used to be. So we'll go to our research center, for instance. And first thing we're going to research is a building upgrade. And we're going right for, let's do Research Team Charlie. Now what this will do, I assume, is allow us to do 2 researches at once, which will speed things up. Next thing we're going to do is an expedition. And I'm telling you, the first guy we're going for is going to be the Big Daddy. We don't have anywhere where he's just the T-Rex. So let's find one that's, alright, well this one, let's try this one out. I don't know what the Torosaurus is, but I do know what the T-Rex is, and we know what the Draco Rex is. We have A couple of those, we've had them for quite some time. Oh, look at that. We haven't done our upgrades. Oh, that's the research center. So another important thing to do when you are when you make these buildings and all that, these expedition centers, is make sure you set up your little bonuses on them. Like this one doesn't have any, so we're going to do an extraction speed, and inventory space. As you research these new abilities and whatnot, they don't automatically go over to your building. You have to actually put them in there manually, and you can pull them out at any time. You can change them around. Just have fun with them. So here we've got plenty of nice herbivores all chilling out together. We go over here, and we've got some Metasaurus. This is our little Dillo setup here. We got plenty of these guys, and they're all pretty happy. What's this guy doing? Did I forget? See, this is bad. Whenever I set up a new compound, I always forget one slightly important thing. And that's adding a gate. Because, these guys are some great South American drivers, but they do not have the ability to jump these gates. Put one there too, just for fun. Alright. You guys on it? Yeah. Looks like they're kind of just chilling there, trying to figure out what to do. Alright, they got it. Yeah, watch out, the Dillo's going to show you the way. Alright. We go over here and we set up a nice little Anki pen. So, this was kind of confusing at first too, is what keeps our dinosaurs happy and what keeps them from breaking out. And from what I've seen, if you can maintain a comfort level for your dinos that remains in that little blue area over there where it says comfort, then they're not going to try to break out. They're going to be pretty peaceful. Now, I can't guarantee you that, but it definitely will lower the amount of times they try to break out. So how do you do that? Well, it's really simple. You attend to their needs, and everybody's needs vary. Every type of dinosaur varies. Like, all of them have some stuff in common. Like, they all want to be healthy, they all want to have food, and they all want to have water. That's a no-brainer. And you go to comfort level, and underneath that you have a couple different things. You got grassland and forest, and that's basically determined by how much forest you have in their little pen for the forest one, and how much grassland. And as you can see with the wide bands like that of blue, these guys are very tolerant as far as the amount of grassland and forest in their pen. They're not. They can have a little, they can have a lot. They're cool with it either way. Population and social are different. Now, population is the overall population of animals in their pen. So you can throw Ankies in there, and let's say we threw in a stego or two, that would count toward the population. And if that gets too high, then the Yankees are going to get a little frustrated and use their little ball tail thing and knock down the gate and get the heck out of there and start wreaking havoc. Social's different. Social is their own breed. So, like, as you can see, Yankees are sociable on a very small scale. I have two in here. As you can see. And they're cool with that. It looks like I could set up a third, but it looks like if I did a fourth, then we'd probably start to have some trouble. So, when I build a pen, you got to have these kind of things in mind. So, it's good to know who you're going to put in there first. Now, I could throw another type of dino in here and be okay with these Yankees because they could handle 2, maybe 3 more dinos. socially. So what I'm going to do is figure out a dino that does well in small numbers like the Anki and maybe put another pair in. When we look at the Dillos, these guys, again, food and water, comfort level. See, their comfort level, they're going to break out a lot quicker if their comfort level drops, where the Ankis are more tolerant. Their grassland and forest needs are similar, but they're cool on those. Population, these guys can handle a lot. And socially, I have 4 in here, and it looks like I could probably put in 4 to 6 more, and they'd still be pretty cool. These guys are fine in a larger family unit. Now, moving over to this area, we've got several different varieties of dinos. We've got the Struthomymus, we've got the Triceratops, the Chunkingosaurus, the Huayangosaurus, and the Edmontosaurus. So we've got quite a variety in here, and this is where we'll see some interesting stuff. This guy's hungry. Okay, we'll go eat. We have food. Again, he's good on his social. His population, and he's about at the end of his rope for population-wise. Maybe we need a second feeder in here. Let's
It's a dangerous world.
do that.
This place makes it more dangerous. This contract can help us with security here.
That's not the one we want. Yeah, I think I got too many guys in here, and we need just another feeder that will help our. Yeah, look how many guys are all gathered around here. That's kind of crazy. These guys are pulling. What is this? Looks like we got a mutant. Double-headed Tyrannosaurus. What the heck? So, yeah, we got some wild stuff going on. There's an Tyrannosaurus. Anyways, alright, good. They're kind of splitting up a little bit. This is what I'm a little concerned about. If you're that hungry, go eat, dude. Look like you're just eating grass. You're like, how when you get a dog and he's going to puke in the bedroom in the middle of the night, he starts eating grass when you're walking, and that's what this guy's doing. In the middle of the night, you're going to start hearing that, and then there goes the trike. So, we'll check back. I'm a little concerned. We might have an issue coming up, but we'll see. Alright, so we'll go back to the fossil center now. Alright, good. We did upgrade that thing. Let's see what we have for fossils. We got quite a few, actually. So, it's always a good way to make some money is to sell off the junk that has no DNA in it. Torosaurus. Okay, so that's a variety, looks like, of the trike. Oh, we don't. Oh, look at that. So the Dracorex were cool. We don't want to sell that. We want to extract. We'll extract. And this one's good with sell. Alright, so that's one thing we did not build on that other island. So we're going to have to go back to that island temporarily. That's good to know. And we'll build a third fossil center there. And then we'll come back and we'll be able to extract the DNA on that. Should have thought of that ahead of time, because everything's kind of reliant. It's not like some games where you can say, alright, I'm going to build this, and I'm going to upgrade it to the next level, blah, blah, blah. Now I can do more stuff, and more stuff is open. In this one, it's having multiple units, and you can't build multiple units on one island. I don't believe you can, at least, of certain items, or certain buildings. So that's the trick. We got plenty of cash to do it. So let's go back here in this area. And let's build a fossil center. See, like, we can't build another research or expedition or science or any security. Alright, so let's build our fossil center. And I'm kind of keeping it down here. This is where all of our research stuff has been going. Now we're going to need to power it up. So we'll throw in a substation. Obstructed, okay. There we go. Whoops. No? Ooh, obstructed. Alright, that snapped it. Good. So now we just need a roadway path. We'll zoom in for this. And good. Now our fossil center is being built. And it shouldn't be much longer. Alright, good. So now we can go back to the other island. And this might seem a little bit of a waste, but I believe in the long run it's the smartest way to go, because I can build anything on this first island now. I've got it at a point where it's making great money, so I can go ahead and do these researches real quick. By the time everything's researched and all that, I've made the money back. If I get strapped for cash or whatever, I can introduce a new dino. I can build a pen here and check out the dinosaur and see how it does on an island that I actually have good infrastructure with. And that's one of the main things with this game is infrastructure. You know, any game like this, if you don't have a good infrastructure, you're in deep trouble. So, alright, let's go back to our research center. Let's view research. And now we have 2 research teams. So, genetic has 10. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is another expedition center, because heck yeah. And then we'll do, why not incubation speed? Let's make our dinos get born quicker. The buildings we have, bowling alley, that's right, we checked that out earlier. Nothing new in the enclosures, unfortunately. We're going to be looking at a T-Rex, but we don't have any way to do that other than a light electrical fence. That's a little scary. Some more disgusting diseases to check out, including the avian flu, the bird flu, E. coli, and everybody's favorite, mycotoxins. Nice. And then on genetic research, we got another color with looks like an alpine. Taiga, cosmetic genes. So it's interesting, these different color patterns. And not all of them are available on every dino, which is kind of cool. A lot new here. Aggressive instincts, hyper-efficient blood. Pretty nifty. Alright. So, look at that, we got 1 research team available. Well, let's start doing... Let's just get all these building upgrades done. 7 minutes, 6 minutes, okay. And let's send out 2 expeditions then. We'll send 1 here. I sent 2 to the same place now. And 1 there. As you can see with fossils, okay. Nothing there. Alright, good. So we have 2 research teams to go out there. That's pretty cool. Over 5 million in money. That's great. We've got a lot of cash. So now we can go and burn through some big money. Now I'm building a pen. Building a pen in Jurassic World is not that tough, but you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta do things in the right order. A mistake I was making, I was building the enclosure first, starting with the fences and trying to make a cool fence design. And then once I did that, I would fit in the Hammond Center and the viewing center and all that. And that was turning out to be a mess because sometimes I didn't have a good place for it. So one thing I've learned And when you do your first enclosure, I know it kind of naturally teaches you to do that, but the first thing you want to do is set up your Hammond Center. Make sure it's in a good spot. Make sure it's not obstructed by water, pathways. Make sure it's not out of the building area. You just want to make sure overall it's in a good location, and even more important that it's aimed in the right direction. So zooming out here, we can see we don't have a big area here. So this is not a good place for an enclosure. Our next best place for an enclosure is it would probably be nice to connect the path around here and make this area an enclosure. That way you have a natural roundabout of people going around the park, and then they come back out and they're here again in the main area. Nobody's getting lost off in the wilderness or anything like that. So this is probably a good area for an enclosure. Now we could set up and have it kind of elongated a little bit, depending on what we're going to put there. The thing is, what are we going to put there? What choices do we have?
Your bottom line is looking as good as
space.
mine. I'm kidding, of course. There's no way it'll ever look as good as mine.
Thank you for that. All right, so these are the choices we have. Now we've got some little dillos, and that's the only carnivore we have in the park. So maybe we could do something a little more exciting with, like, velociraptors, let's say. They're kind of pricey to incubate, but they'd be very interesting. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove that water. Or at least make it a lot smaller, because it is taking up a ton of room. You don't need too much water in a pen, right? All right, so we've eliminated a lot of that water. Now let's kind of look at laying out this pen. So it's kind of a cool attraction. I do want to make it an electrified fence for these guys, since they are raptors after all. So first things first, we're going to put in the Hammond Center. And do that right there. Fits perfect. We can put in a cool viewing area, and we can use, since this is going to be kind of a longer enclosure as opposed to a wider one, we can do something like this and build a cool viewing platform like that. If we wanted to, could throw in a second one like that. All right, cool. So we've got all that laid out, right? Everything's being built. Next thing we're going to want to do is enclose it. So let's find our fences, and we can go with a heavy steel, light steel, electrified, or light steel. So I kind of like the electrified for the raptors because, hey, they're raptors. And when you're building on the PS4, let's zoom in. So anyway, you want to get it to snap, and then you can build out. And you see it builds out in kind of a straight line, right? If you toggle with the square button, it does a curved thing. That took a little bit to figure out my first time out, but I finally got it. So anyway, so you go straight. do that. Then we can toggle curve to kind of give it a natural, kind of an organic curve. It gives room for the path to get around it. And we can go curved again, and we snap it right there. As you can see, it's all snapped into place. And we go here, we start here. We go like a natural curve there. Snap it. Perfect. Here. Boom. Now we're going to straighten it off a little bit. Straight, kind of just hug this outer portion. We're going to go back to the curve. And, oh yeah, it reaches. How awesome is that? So now we've got a nice big pen, and that's got some great visibility coverage, and we can check that through the management view. They're not powered yet. Okay.
3 words. Contract, you, yes.
All right.
We are caretakers in every sense, so take care of the dinosaurs, our guests, and most importantly, of yourself.
All right, so we have a power issue now. We need to power up this entire fence. But before we do that, let's lay out our paths. We'll make sure everything connects. Let's curve this one. It works the same way as the fence with the square to toggle. Let me get off the curve, and we'll do that. We'll start it again here. Like that last little jag, but all right, it's okay. All right, so we got paths to all of that. Now let's go here. Let's connect these paths. Maybe we can, yeah, there we go. That covers that up nicely. Obstructed, what's obstructing it? It's weird. Just like any other game with creation in it, there's always these weird little jigs and jags. Alright, so we got plenty of land for these guys. Let's add in some forest, because I know they are going to want some forest. We'll do some light shrubs down around, give it a little bit of life and make it look kind of cool. And then we'll go with some heavier trees, but we're going to kind of put them along this back portion here, so it doesn't really obstruct the viewing of the of either viewing place. All right, so we've laid out the basics. Next thing is going to be power. This place has no power at this time, so we're going to need a couple substations, and the substations they need to cover not only the buildings, but when you have an electrified fence, yeah, they need to cover that too. Let's get this connected to the grid. All right. All right, looks like it's covered. All right, we're live. Okay, so that takes us all the way to there. This, I can't get it on that side because it won't cover everything, so it's going to have to be here. All right, and you can kind of hear it snap when it gets into place. All right, so it looks like we're going to need to get in a little closer here to lay this out. So that covers, oh yeah, so I can keep the power outside. You can see it snap. Okay, good. Next, need one just for this little area. Okay, well, we'll get it in there. Now we got full coverage. And we got plenty of power now. So let's check our power levels. So it looks like we're going to need another power station at this point. And we're going to build one just so we don't get brownouts or have to deal with because we're gonna need to upgrade this Hammond Center a little bit, and that's going to require some more power. So let's just go ahead and get this done. Get you snapped right to the grid. Alright, so in the meantime, while that's being built and all that, let's go back to our research center. Let's get a couple more researches being done. And we got one building, and we'll do it. That's that bowling alley. Because why not? And then we're going to go and we'll upgrade the outage protection. And that's that. And then we're going to do our expedition map. Let's go ahead and send another one there. And another one there. And looks like we got some good. Ooh, we got a T-Rex fossil. Alright, we'll sell that. That. And the Anki, because we have a full Anki genome. So let's start researching T-Rex data. Ooh, manly things are going to get ugly. Okay. Good. So, alright, we forgot to connect the power via a path. Alright, that's done. So we are fully powered. The Hammond Creation Lab, let's go ahead and do our upgrades to it. And since we're going to be doing Raptors, I know Raptors are social from dealing with them on previous boards, so we're going to go ahead and raise the capacity up on this puppy. And look at that, we got tons of money, so we're going to go ahead and incubate Raptors like crazy. Because we're crazy. Alright, so we got water, we got plants. The only thing that we're missing is going to be food. So let's get that in place before we release these guys. And I always forget a gate. This way when we need to refill the food, we can get in there. We'll put one on this end too. That way they can go through. Okay, so let's go back and put in our feeders. Oops. And we'll do a nice carnivore feeder right out here. We'll do another one here since we've got so many raptors coming up. Our expedition map. Look for more T-Rex. T-Rex. Fossils are back, look at that. High quality. Torosaurus. Research Center. These guys are still working, okay. Looks like it takes a little longer for research when at these little higher levels. So we're going to release one raptor. The reason we're only releasing one is to see if he's happy when he's released, other than the whole social thing. Oh, look at that. 2 failed. Well, you know what? Let's just do a couple more. Because, hey, we can. We're rich. At least we were before we started this project. Yeah, we do a bowling alley now. Alright, so while those raptors are incubating, let's check out our little lonely restaurant here and see if it's making any money. Snackosaurus for 17 bucks. Oh my god, we got a viable genome of a T-Rex. I so want to release it, but we're not ready. Alright, so these velociraptors take a while. It's really nice to be able to get out there and yeah, it's nice to be able to release multiples of them. And depending on what you're doing, like for the Yankees, I never added to the hatching bays because I know they're low, they're not very tolerant to a lot of population or a lot of social. So why bother putting those extra slots in when I'm only going to be doing a couple of creatures there, right? There's really no point to it. What are we going to do? Okay, we're going to look at fossils. So we can sell that. We can sell some platinum. Lots of T-Rex coming up. We're at 52% so far. The Torosaurus, we're only at like 30 or 31%. Like that. 46 now. That was a pretty good jump. Research Center. We can do one more team. Well, now we're doing the power upgrade. So a good thing to do is medical treatment right away too, because they don't take that long. Because if you get a disease outbreak in your park and you don't have the research to cure it, you can be in trouble. Alright, so we got that going. Power upgrade's almost done. The expeditions are rolling. They're returning. Life is good. Everything's going crazy and wild. And looks like we lost another. Oh, let's incubate, but let's look at his genome real quick here. And let's go ahead and normalize him a little bit, make him more viable. Alright, so let's incubate him. So we can release 3 immediately. But we're only going to do 1 first. That way we can kind of check how pretty. Yeah. That's a clever girl. Alright, so food, what? Comfort. They like, they have very low tolerance for their comfort levels, so you want to make sure everything's cool for them. The grassland and forest, no big deal. They're well within. He's not happy with his social, so we're going to immediately release more. And this will give us a nice big pack of raptors, which, God forbid, they break out and everything goes crazy. And you can see the viewing areas cover pretty much the whole thingy there. We can see 2 visible dinos from there. So I think this is going to be a good addition. I think everything will be fine in here. Oh, what do we got? We got food out somewhere? Okay. We're going to need to feed those guys. Alright, so let's get our... where are you? Right here, right? Yeah. Ranger Team 2. Activate. So we'll get you to go in there and fill that up.
Feeder supplies inbound.
And while you're at it, we'll do this one
Task received.
and that one.
Confirmed.
Can you do more?
Adding to the list.
Nice, we can do 4 now. Okay. See, in the beginning, you can only do 1. That's a little frustrating with this game, is that in the beginning, you're so limited with everything. But that's just the nature of games like this. Oh, I like this. So instead of going all the way around, going in there, he's going right through. I was hoping that would happen. I'm quite pleased that it did. Okay, good. So that means he'll go through there, he'll come back, he'll do these, and then he's going to come out probably this way and go to that one. Awesome. Let's see if our last Raptor, not quite ready yet, but almost there. All right. Well, that is going to wrap it up for today. I'd like to thank you again for joining me here on Jurassic World Evolution. Once again, I am Captain Beefy with ADHD Entertainment, and it's been a pleasure. We're going to play around a little bit more on this park and get some of these, get all this research out of the way, all of the genomes built up to at least decent levels. And then we're going to go back to that 3rd island with the next episode and apply all that we learned to that new place and get that one really rolling and making the big money. Now, as you can see, I think it was a couple episodes ago, we did unlock good old Isla Nublar, which is, I guess, by far the largest island. It's also the only sandbox island. But I don't want to hit that one until I kind of get these built up. And that's part of the fun, is we have all these unique islands. Isla Tacaño, Isla Sorna, Isla Pena, Isla Muerta, and Isla Matanceros. So each one has unique challenges, unique geography, and this one looks crazy. Pena, this is just tiny. Tiny. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one to do. I can't wait to unlock that guy. Ugh. This one requires so we go there and then we go there. Kind of interesting progression. Normally you would think a game would take you like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once this one's done, we go here. Alright, I digress. Alright, everybody, thanks again for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, anything you want. If you got questions or you want, you have any special requests, let me know. And I'll be glad to fulfill them. Thank you very much. Keep on playing.